This is just a continuation of yesterday's episode. In fact, it's still yesterday. Now you will notice that we did something like this before, because over here is one of these. The only difference is we did not trim it, and we did not do the X22 clear thing. We could have, because I did have it, but I didn't have the flat clear, so to put over it. And but we're going to go through all the steps that I believe should be done, and that is we're going to take one of these and trim it. Then we're going to stick it on here using microset. Then we are going to get the microset out of it, evaporate out of it more or less. Then we're going to put a little drop of solvaset on it and let the solvaset almost turn this to jelly. And then once that evaporates out, it should look a lot better than this one over here. Now I emphasize the word should. And now for the M word. Yep, microscope. I know some people don't like me using it, but I like to use it. And yeah, remember, this is all about fun. Well, this is fun for me. So all right, let's get everything set up here so that we'll put the macro lens on you, and we'll try and be able to see right here. And now I know some people are going to say, hey, don't you know you're supposed to focus on this part over here? Well, I find that if I can swing it around like this and drop it down as low as it'll go, then I don't have to have my head up so high. It's a little easier. So that's why I do it the wrong way. Okay, let's get set up here. Okay, you should be able to see this little dot right here. It's right in the center of my vision when I'm looking through the microscope, and it's important that I don't move anything around, so I'm just taping my sheet of plexiglass down. I have sharpened and honed my hobby knife here on the tip. It is probably about as sharp as you can get it. At least I tried. And we'll use some extra light here. Okay, and just checking my monitor there now. That looks pretty good. Now how does the blade show up? I think it'll be alright. Okay, now the idea will be, what can I use for a ruler? How about a microscope slide, because I'll be able to see right through it. I know I do have this clear ruler here, except that it's maybe not as clear as a microscope slide would be. Now, I've never used a microscope slide before for a straight edge, so this may not work. All of this is sort of a first time thing, so there's going to be a few poof-ahs. Hope not. We'll do the best we can here. I've literally got hundreds of these, so I don't mind wasting one. I don't know why I have hundreds. Okay, so here we go. All right, I'm going to put my blade Probably, just about right on the edge of that. Now, we put this here like this. And if I hold my blade at the same angle, we should be able to cut this off. I think I'm through the paper. Yeah, I'm through the paper. Okay, now I'm going to turn it 90 degrees and do it the other way. Just hold this down. Get this generally in the right place here. Okay, now right close to the edge, but not touching the black. I will go this way. I think you can maybe begin to see why I like this shop microscope. Right now I'm not looking at it as powerful as it will go. In fact, my dime that I sometimes use will almost completely fill the field of view here, so you can tell it's not a real powerful setting. It's probably about 8 power. That's not quite right. Get a little closer there, maybe. This side is not going quite as good. Okay, I do believe we're through. Now, I'm going to cut this out like this, okay, see? However, what I'd like to do now is just score right along here. Just score this, but not go right through the paper. And that way, hopefully, when I'll have something to hold on to, in other words. Otherwise, you don't have anything to hold on to with your tweezers. So just bear with me here. Okay, now I hope I still have it in your centered in your field of view there. Now all I want to do is just score this. All right, I didn't score it very straight, but I'm hoping that the Solvaset. Whoops, I scratched it. I'm hoping that the Solvaset is going to blend this little excess area off here. I wonder if I can cut that off. No, we'll let the Solvaset take care of it. Now, in theory, that should work. Okay, let's go to the computer room and edit this out and see what we got here. This is fun. Get yourself one. Now the idea here is if we can get the light to reflect just right off of around the outside there, you can see where the excess is still stuck on the that we cut away. I'm going to put this little piece in the palm of my hand here, because I can tell by the comments I'm getting that people do not understand how incredibly small some of this stuff actually is. Now, I don't know if I've actually improved on it or not, but I've just tried to reshape my blade here a little bit so it's not quite as wide. Yeah, not that I'm probably going to be doing too much trimming of decals, but I believe it's a little narrower now. Looks like it could possibly be sharpened slightly. Maybe I should hone it a little bit more. Well, I don't know if I made it better or worse. I can still see a lot of the lines there from the stone, so I didn't hone them out. But offhand, I'd say it's probably pretty sharp.
It is the next morning. In other words, it's today, if you're watching this today. And the status from the post office for our scissors is a little bit more promising. It's starting to make more sense now. The top is the latest. In other words, the last time they scanned it was 4:37 a.m. this morning while I was still asleep. Well, that might have been the time that I had to get up for some reason. Anyway, yeah, there's a good chance we'll get it today. I don't know if it'll be here before the end of this episode, but there's a really good chance it'll come today. What I need to see now is the scan that says out for delivery. I don't know if we're going to see that before it actually gets here, but because I'm going to get busy right now. I want to work on my knife blade and see if I can't maybe improve on it. Been thinking about it. So, yeah, let's get back to our Tormac and see if we can just do a little bit better job on our knife blade.
Now, some people are going to say, well, aren't you just sort of overreacting a little bit here, Ron? This number 11 blade is already very thin. Well, yeah, it is, except for when you're trying to cut something like this right against the edge. Then something like this blade that we made up, what was it, about a month ago now? The problem is it flexes way too easy. In other words, it's thin all the way along. Which is good, I guess, except that if you try to put any pressure down, it has a tendency to buckle on you. So what I'm thinking of is I would like to have this blade thin, like this, back to probably about here, or at least have a taper like that, but be nice and thick for the rest of it, so that when you put pressure down, it doesn't buckle on you. Besides, I kind of like the shape of it. So I'm thinking, why don't I just see if I can't maybe make up this Tormac comes with a lot of different jigs, but I don't know if I can actually take this blade and, I have another one of these blades with the tip broken off. Just let me see if I can find it here. Okay, here we go. Same blade. In fact, it might even be sharper up here because it seems to me I broke the tip off fairly early in the game. So maybe I'll use this blade and experiment on this one, leave this alone, and just see if we can't just thin this area from about here down so that it'll end up being thin like this. Just for the fun of it, let's just measure these. I got my caliper here. Okay, the razor blade, you may not be able to see that, but it's 3.5 thousandths. And the number 11 blade is 20 thousandths. I mean, that's the difference. Anyway, let's get on with it here. Okay, now in order to get a really shallow angle, it's pretty hard if I leave the blade in this thing, because you can see where the tip of the blade, when it comes up to this part of the holder, the angle just is not shallow. Now I want to be able to sharpen this one. This is the one with the broken tip. So I'm thinking if there was another way I could hold on to this. Okay, if I could use these pliers All right, now you can see we can get a much more shallow angle. In fact, it'd be about perfect if it was like that. And then adapt it. This is one of the jigs that comes with the tarmac. Yeah. Once again, I'm sort of thinking out loud. I think I can probably use enough elastic bands on this thing to hold it tight. It doesn't have to take a lot of pressure on the stone. I mean, we don't want to be gouging the stone. So that seems to be held in there pretty strong. And the angle that we can get is fairly shallow. Now, to be able to fasten this in this jig, now this might not be quite the right way, but I'm just doing this to sort of show you. Okay, now we'll take it over to the tarmac, and the idea is I should be able to, there's going to be a rod go through here, like a rail, and it should be able to go back and forth like this on it, so that the tip is not always on the same place on the stone all the time, and putting a groove into it. I do have to reface my stone anyway. Get this angle just a little bit more this way. Okay, I haven't tried this yet, so I might have to reposition everything. Let's go to the jig. Let's go to the tarmac. Okay, I'm kind of excited right now because I just heard my mailbox rattle, but I want to try and finish up on this, and then we'll I did change this just a little. It was coming out of this side. I realized it wasn't going to work good with this, so I changed it around. Okay, so we'll try and adjust it so that this piece right here is almost touching the stone, but not quite. We should be able to flatten that out. Now wait a minute, because of the curvature of the stone, maybe it doesn't have to be that close. Maybe it should be back just a little bit here. A little bit more like that. I'll reposition the camera so you can see better what's going on here. It's here. We're going to have a package opening later. Let's see if we can do something with this first. Okay, I realize that the lighting and everything may not be the best here. And because of the shape of these plier handles, it's holding this blade too flat. I'd like to have it tilted just a little bit this way, so I'm going to just see if maybe I can't sort of force it over. I don't know if this is going to work or not. Yeah, that holds it over a little bit. Now, as for, there's no use having it too close, because what's going to happen is the tip is going to be wide, and then further in it's going to be skinny. Just let me look here. I think that's going to be about right. We just sort of lock it in place there. Okay, now the idea is, as I go back and forth on the blade, I don't have to worry about it, getting at the wrong angle. and I can sit here for about 10 minutes and just rock it back and forth, and this should work out okay. This stone does need to be refaced. There is a tool here with a diamond cutter. I'll probably work that across it. I'm not going to show that on camera, and I'll probably just go ahead and do it sometime. Anyway, let's see what's going to happen here. Here we go. Okay, I know you don't want to watch this for 10 minutes, so we'll just look at it after it's done. I wonder if maybe I should hold it down with my finger here. Yeah, that works better. And I'll have a very sharp finger by the time I'm through. Now I do believe I've got it thinner on the tip where it counts, at least for cutting decals. I'll put the macro lens on, we'll have a close look here. I'm noticing on the edge here, it's maybe I didn't hone it quite enough up here. Oh well, we don't need to go into that. It's the tip I'm worried about, and I'm pretty sure it's not going to be any sharper. It's just going to be what you might call thinner, and that's what I wanted. Well, Tennessee Jim, I've got to apologize to you because in the reply that I made yesterday to your comment, I said we're going to be using your mini Q-tips today, and it looks like we've run out of time here. I got sidetracked really bad sharpening this, and then this came. We want to look at that. So we're going to have to use the mini Q-tips tomorrow. I got to quit telling people I'm going to do something when I actually don't. Or I intend to, and the next day it doesn't work out. You know, life is what happens to you while you're making other plans. At least my life it is. We'll get it. Okay, what do we got here now? I don't know if I'll ever need that, but I'll hang on to it. Might be able to use it for something someday. And here we go. Well, let's stick on the macro lens and have a close look. It's the tip that I'm worried about. It almost looks like it's a little bit too wide to me there. Well, let's give it a try. Maybe not. Okay. I like the fact that I can get my big fingers into the little holes where you're supposed to stick your fingers. If I wanted to make a change here, it would be on this bottom cutter, and I'd like to have it just a little thinner at the end, so that, let's say I want to nip off a little piece of easy line that's coming up out of this hole right here, I can get maybe just slightly closer to it. On the other hand, if it was thinner, it might be easily bent. Now, I'd like to be able to say this is the first time that I'm trying these out, but a moment ago I tried them out and I forgot to press record. Let's get the light a little bit better here. So this is the second time. Third time. Fourth time. Okay, they work. They work good. Yeah, they work really good. I think we got ourselves a good pair here. So thanks for suggesting them, Tony. But we've got to say goodbye here. So thanks for watching. And all being well, we will see you tomorrow, and we will be using the mini Q-tips.